Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon. This is Samori Benjamin. Welcome back again. It is great to be with you all, and we have a lot to talk about. And of course, there was a big boxing fight last night out in Las Vegas. One of the biggest fights, the biggest fight, the most anticipated fight in a long, long time. And there's nothing like a big fight night main event. We're going to talk with our guy, Joshua Garcia. In the second hour, he was in the building in Las Vegas, ringside last night at this fight, and he will be here to talk with us about that. And the fight, of course, was a one-sided fight. Terrence Crawford totally dominated. He put on a brilliant performance in what everyone going into it thought was going to be a really tightly contested fight. Well, Crawford dominated, so we're going to get to that fight a little later. We're going to talk about the football as the Hall of Fame game is this Thursday. The New York Jets are in that game. They have two members of their franchise history going into the Hall of Fame. Joe Klecko, who played for the team in the 80s, and Darrelle Revis, who played for the team more recently, Revis Island, all that. So it took Joe Klecko a while to get the Hall of Fame nod. Darrelle Revis got in there very young. Both of them are going in next weekend on Thursday, 4 days from now, Hall of Fame game preseason. So we won't see a lot of the Jets' big stars, but that's what they have, stars. We know they're on HBO's Hard Knocks as well to hype up the season before it actually begins on the weekend of September 11th this year. And so the Giants, last week I was ripping them for not giving Saquon Barkley the money that he deserves. Saquon Barkley is in camp, so we'll talk about all that. But first, our opening report. And folks, the city of Baltimore has had some very difficult times over the last few years with their baseball team, the Orioles. Just 2 years ago, they lost 110 games, and the only thing that prevented them from losing over 100 games for 4 consecutive years was a 60-game shortened COVID season in 2020. Because in 2019, Baltimore lost 108 games, and the year before that, they lost 115 games. So the fact that Baltimore right now are in first place of their American League East Division has to be one of the better stories in baseball in 2023. But we know that the bullies on the block in that division has been the boys from the South Bronx on 161st and River. And the Yankees, folks, do you know, have not had a season where they finished below 500 since 1992. 30 years and counting, which is by far and away the longest streak in the history of American sports. The Yankees have had struggles this season, but they are still above 500, and they are not used to looking up to Baltimore in the standings, folks. But that is the case at this point in the season, and this weekend, the Yanks have made a visit to Baltimore to face the Orioles, who the Yanks began the weekend 8 games behind for first place with a little over 2 months to go. And folks, the Yanks got a gift to begin this series as the best player in the sport, Big Judgy, Aaron Judge, made his return to the lineup after missing 8 weeks with an injured toe. In the first game on Friday night, he walked 3 times, and with the score tied at 0-0 in the 9th inning, Baltimore hit a walk-off home run to win the opener 1-0. Last night, to begin the game, the other home run champ in the Yankees lineup, Big G, Giancarlo Stanton, hit a solo home run, and then in the 3rd inning, Aaron Judge went boom and hit his first home run since he got hurt on June 3rd. The home run was a 2-run shot, and whenever the two big boys go yard in the same game, The Bronx Bombers are almost unbeatable, and they were too much for the Orioles last night as the Yankees won 8-3. Starting pitcher Clark Schmidt picked up the win, and Giancarlo Stanton is now 8 home runs away from 400 on the career. The two teams play the third and final game of the series tonight, and while the Yanks are 8 games behind Baltimore, they are 3.5 games out of the final playoff spot in the American League. Now, folks, we go to the other team in this city, the New York Mets. And, folks,